Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of A Journey with Sarponmaa. I would want to use this opportunity to thank you all for sticking with us throughout our 4 episodes. So today we are building up on where we left off from the episode 4, where we discussed what hormonal imbalance is and what causes hormonal imbalance. But before we look at today's discussion, which is supposed to be on effect of hormonal imbalance and what to do if you are suspecting you have hormonal imbalance, I would want to share a little story with you. That is my personal story. And most of you were not able to join the live session and have requested you would want to know about my journey. So basically, my journey began in 2017. As at that time, I was going through a lot. My family and I were going through a lot, and due to that, I was unable to sleep. I had a lot of sleep disorders. I could go 3 days without sleeping, without eating. I even forget I have not eaten. So after a while, I realized that I started gaining weight. So that was in 2020. I realized I started putting on lots of weight. A lot of people felt I was looking good, and well, in a Ghanaian society, when you are putting on a lot of weight, it is termed as you are living good. So, who doesn't want to live good? But after a while, I realized it was beyond it. Because if you've known me from Star Avenue, you've known me from Fija, you've known me in Legon, you would realize that I wasn't a big person, but I had moved from size 5 to size 12, which was a rapid weight gain. Also, I realized that I am almost always depressed. Like, I could be so happy, and then the next moment, not okay. Like, a lot of things were not going on with me psychologically. I do not really feel belonged and all that. I realized I started having abdominal pains, which were frequent. And then also, I realized I couldn't focus. I had lost myself, and I couldn't really tell what led to that. But I didn't know how to open up to people. I didn't know how to share these experiences that I was having with people. I was lost, and I needed answers, but I didn't know where to start from. So fast forward, Google became my friend. The least reactions I get, I'd Google about it. The least thing I experience, I'd Google about it. So that was how I started finding out what was really wrong with me. Mind you, in 2017, I didn't even know about hormonal imbalance. I didn't know that my hormones could affect a lot of things about my health. I didn't even know what these things were about. So it wasn't a bother to me. But when I started reading, when I started getting the insights, that was after I had visited the hospital where I met a doctor. He's Dr. Moitin, but I can't share the name of the hospital. So he made me take a pelvic scan when I was complaining of the abdominal pains, and then I was diagnosed with ovarian cyst. So treatment commenced, but then again, he asked if I had the resources I could take other scans to determine what it was. So it was through taking of that scan, that was in 2020, that I got to know that I had hormonal imbalance. So I've been battling hormonal imbalance for 5 Yes. And the quest to find solutions to all these things began. So, I would want to share some of the effects or some of the things you would notice if you are having hormonal imbalance. Mind you, it would vary by person to person. What I went through wouldn't be the same thing that you would go through. And also, I would recommend that if you see any changes in your systems, you should visit the hospital, you should seek medical advice. So, with me, some of the effects that I went through was that I had abdominal pains, just as I was saying. And then also during my time of the month, I realized that I had tender breast, which I wasn't having previously. Also, I was unable to sleep. I lacked sleep time and I lost appetite for food. I'd go days without eating. And if you know me, you knew that I had long natural hair. At a point in time, I had to cut my hair because my hair wasn't growing. Then, at a point in time, I had to find a solution to that. So, I locked my hair, and this has been my hair journey, which is barely a year now. And then also, my skin changed. I'm naturally a fair person, but I became dark along the line. If you see me, you may think that I wasn't probably bathing well or not pomading or something. But me, if you know me, you know that I'm a shea butter woman. But even with the shea butter, I was getting darker and darker. Then I had a lot of um, hairs, like pubic hairs growing. I had a few hairs growing here and my pubic areas. And then I lacked concentration. I couldn't really concentrate when it comes to learning and reproducing. Also, I became very depressed. Just as I shared, I had ovarian cyst. It would vary. Other people get fibroids, PCOS, and then even endometriosis, which can lead to you losing your womb. I had menstrual irregularities. I had weight change. That was the first thing that I realized. I gained rapid weight because you can't tell me from size 5 to size 12 is not rapid. I gained rapid weight, and then I had a lot of mood swings. A lot of mood swings. There were times that I wasn't in the mood to talk to anybody. There were times that I didn't even want to have anyone around. I was almost always tired. I could sleep and still wake up tired. And I got bloated a lot of times. I frequently had this question: Hey Jennifer, are you pregnant? Are you expecting a baby? And all that. Mind you, people get bloated and it looks like they're expecting a baby. And in actual sense, when they get pregnant, they tend to lose the baby. It is as an effect of our hormones. And then also sex drive. You realize that some people have changes in their sex drive. They tend to lose the urge for sex. Also, bone health. You'd realize that you'd be having pains in your bones. Um, and then this can also lead to other health related diseases like heart attack, infertility, and all that. And mind you, when you start experiencing the highest effect of hormonal imbalance, you may think that it is spiritual. You may think that somebody is working against you. But at a point that you would realize it is just your hormones playing tricks on you. Like it may be far gone. You may be at a stage where you may even struggle to find yourself. And somebody who hasn't been in this situation may not understand you like you'd understand yourself. At a point in time, I felt everybody around me wasn't understanding what I was going through. I felt I was being misunderstood because I am going through it and I am not getting somebody who can easily understand what I am going through. At a point in time, you would lose people around you because, mind you, if people are not understanding what you are going through, you may feel they do not know what it is with you. So I lost relationships, I lost people, I lost a lot of things, and treating hormonal imbalances is very expensive. I wouldn't lie to you. If you're on private insurance here in Ghana, you know that they do not cover hormonal issues. Your private insurance wouldn't cover the medication associated with these hormonal things, and these medications are quite expensive if you would want to treat it from the hospital. But there are other local medications that can treat hormonal imbalance. But just as I said, you'd have to talk to your health practitioner who is a professional and who can really attend to you in a professional way to understand how you are feeling and to also recommend something that would best help you. Please don't self diagnose and self medicate. It is a risky thing to do. And do not say that because I have shared this information, if you're experiencing these things, it means that you have hormonal imbalance. I am pleading with you. Go to the hospital, get checked, seek the advice of a gynae or a medical practitioner if you're experiencing any of these symptoms. Don't self diagnose and don't self medicate. It is a risky thing to do. Also, get to know that it would take your time because with mine, I was in and out of the hospital. There was a time that I bleeded 3 months continuously, and as a result of this, I was in and out of the hospital most of the times, and we were finding solutions to it. I had to be on a lot of medications. You'd go, they would recommend this. You come, it doesn't work. You'd have to go again, they recommend another thing. At the end of the day, it was my approach to finding healing that led to me finding it. So, to me, I'll tell you that healing starts from the mindset. You should position your mind in a way that you are believing you can be healed, or you are believing healing is not far from you. It was when I positioned my mind to the fact that healing wasn't far from me, that was when I actually started seeing some improvements in all these things I was going through. So, yes, healing starts with the mind. If your mind is not um, positioned in a way to accept that you can be healed, I bet you can never be healed. And what worked for me is I added prayers. I prayed about everything. Every symptoms I show, I go to God in prayer. We all have different beliefs, we all have different faith, but I'm sharing what worked for me. And then again, I've been reading a book written by Pastor Elvis Hachiman, which is called The Healing Power of God. I am recommending it to you, but I am not saying it's a must for you to read. It is a recommendation I am giving. So, that book has also helped me. It has shaped my mind about some of these things, and it's really been of help to me. Also, when I was sick or when I was seeking healing, my doctors recommended sex. Yes, sex. And mind you, if you are not getting sex, you would have to stick with medication. One of my gynaes was like, yes, if people think that sex is a bad thing because probably you may be having premarital sex. He understands, and society frowns upon having premarital sex. But once you start engaging in sexual activities, the best way to have some of these things solved is by having sexual intercourse. I wouldn't mention to you the number of days he recommended to me to have sexual intercourse, but out of 7 days, he recommended I should have a majority of it. Um, but I had to stick to medication. So, yes, medication became the next option because I couldn't be having frequent sex, or I wasn't having or getting sex. And then again, a lot of people would say a lot of things to you, but mind you, you have to stick to your faith, and you have to stick to your principles, and you have to be firm as a person. If you are not firm, I bet you may go in and out of a lot of things that at the end of the day you'd have regrets to. So by far, these are some of the things that I'd want to share with you for today. I know the video is long, but I would advise you see your doctor if you are sharing any signs or any of these signs that I have mentioned. It doesn't entirely mean that you have hormonal imbalance if you are showing some of these signs. I have shared what I went through with you, and other symptoms other people have shared with me with you. It doesn't mean that it would be the same for you. So once again, thank you for joining us on episode 6, which is the causes of hormonal imbalance, or the effects of hormonal imbalance, and then what to do if you are experiencing these effects. Thank you once again for liking, sharing, and getting interactive with us on our social medias. And then I entreat you all to keep on sharing, liking, commenting, and giving us feedbacks on how to improve and to get better on our talks. So until our next episode, it is bye for now. Stay healthy, stay informed, don't self-diagnose, and don't self-medicate. Thank you. I am Jennifer Nanekia Sapon. You can call me Miss J or Sarponmaa. Bye for now.